Hey guys, and welcome to Blockchain's Unchained, your go-to insights on the latest cryptocurrency and blockchain projects, brought to you by the VC firm ICONPLUS Capital. Joining me today is Paul Claudius, the co-founder of Layah, an open source Oracle platform that allows market actors to source, share, and supply trustable DeFi data. I'm Layah Heilpern, let's jump in. Paul, great to have you on the show today. How are you doing?
I'm very well. Thanks, Layah. It's great to be here.
Yeah, it's really good to talk to you. This is such a topical subject right now. DeFi has not just boomed, but it's continuing to boom. So I can't wait to jump right into this and learn more. But before we do, I'd love to hear a little bit more about you and your background.
Yeah, sure. I'd love to. So my name is Paul. I'm based out of Germany and Switzerland. I have a background in management and finance. And in 2017, I started with my co-founders the Layah journey. I'm one of the co-founders and leading business development here.
So I think it only makes sense then for us to understand about Layah. What exactly is it and how does it play into the DeFi ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. I mean, Layah is a decentralized Oracle provider, and oracles are extremely relevant to DeFi applications. They ingest pricing data. So an easy example is, for example, lending. You need to know how much your collateral is worth, and somebody needs to report this price to an application. And this is exactly what we're doing. We're aggregating this pricing information really at the source level, sanitizing it and sending it in the format an application actually needs it. And this is why Layah is a core pillar for such applications.
So obviously there's a little bit of competition at the moment. There's Bound Protocol, there's Chainlink. So explain to me what separates you from them, how are you different, and why a company would choose your platform instead of theirs?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I'm quite happy we're not the only ones out there, because I think a bit of competition with great projects is quite beneficial for the overall ecosystem. But there are, to be honest, quite some differentiating factors between, as you said, Chainlink, Bank Protocol, and us. So how we differentiate against these general purpose oracles. So there are two aspects. One is really the government side. As I said, we are a decentralized Oracle provider. Also on the governance level, we're a Swiss association, and this is set up really that people who hold Layah tokens have a say in how Layah actually operates. We have validators, with people contributing to the product. But when you look at it from a builder's perspective, why should I choose Layah instead of one of the competitors? There's a huge differentiation. For example, Chainlink and others, they buy asset pricing data at third parties, while we go way beyond this general attempt to get data. We actually pull that data from different blockchains running different nodes, also integrating into trading venues, order books, and we're pulling this data on an order book level. We're aggregating and sanitizing that data and bringing it into the exact format an application actually needs it to various L1s and L2s. So Ethereum, Polygon, all EVMs covered, as well as Polkadot, on near building a Solana integration. So we're pulling the data where the dev needs it. And this differentiator is really important for the dev, that they understand where data actually comes from and not just get from some premium data provider, so to say, this data. So there's quite some, differentiation between what we do and others are doing.
Yeah, I think those differentiations are really important because obviously, not one rule or one way fits all different protocols. But also, like you said, competition is still so important, and helping every protocol, every platform improve. But I want to move on a little bit because NFTs are very hot in DeFi right now, and I think they both sort of need each other in some ways. And I know that you guys have revealed ARTS, I think that's how you pronounce it, which it stands for Autonomous Rights Token. So explain what that is and how that links into NFTs and DeFi.
Yeah. So DRArcs basically tries to solve two big issues. One is there's very little transparency where data actually comes from and if this data can be actually used. And with DRArcs, we are building, with the help of NFTs, a transparency on the rights associated to such data. So when, for example, let's say Binance order book data is being used in a dApp, you don't know this, neither the dApp nor the end user. And with DRArcs, we're pointing for these data sets to the different data sources and defining what rights are actually associated to these data sets. So this sounds very B2B-ish and just a niche use case, but it brings one big advantage because suddenly people who generate data or have data are incentivized to actually make this data accessible as arts in form of an NFT, create secondary markets for such data sets. So you're suddenly incentivized to provide data and make it accessible through ARCs, and these ARCs can be listed similar to Uniswap liquidity pool positions of NFTs in secondary markets. And we're starting this in very due time.
I think what absolutely blows my mind about the space is it's becoming a niche within a niche within a niche. And there's just so much development, it's like rabbit hole after rabbit hole, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. And I'm so excited, just to see where all these new ideas start innovating from and, how they all sort of lead in to connect with each other. It still blows my mind. But I'd love to hear what your plans are for the next 6 months to the next year. Any milestones that you have lined up?
Yeah, so one big one is for sure DRArcs, as this really provides a new primitive for using data and monetizing such data. The other one is we've been spending the last years really providing the best-in-class product when it comes to asset pricing data. So how much is an asset worth, or also DeFi metrics as TVL data, yield, and bringing this to dApps. We've been working quite hard in the past months to expand this data well beyond traditional asset pricing data, covering NFT data, metaverse data, aggregating these new data sets, which is much more complex. It's pretty heterogeneous data, so it's not like a Bitcoin price, which is, let's say, easier to tackle. But with our deep knowledge we built up in these past years, we're able to aggregate and sanitize that data and building again, like for, I guess, a lot of DeFi applications, the foundation to create interoperability between metaverses, gaming. So how can you port like an NFT into a metaverse, use it there? The foundation is really to have accessible data. So builders can really use this framework to create connectivity in these disparate ecosystems. So this is coming up in the next months. I'm quite excited about that, and we're very happy, obviously, that the whole NFT growth is boosting this momentum, and also the emergence of metaverses, Decentraland, X Infinity, and so on. There's quite some focus, and people are now building on top of these primitives, and we're trying to be a supportive role there, as we've been in the broader DeFi space.
This is what I'm saying. It's a niche within a niche. It's absolutely crazy. So what is your opinion then, just finally, on the future of DeFi, the future of NFTs? Do you think NFTs are a bubble? What's going on? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, is this a bubble or not? I mean, when you look at NFT prices, you could obviously question it, how sustainable that is. Might be a bubble. I think it doesn't matter. Sometimes you have a price correction, but we're still similar to DeFi in both spaces, really at such an early stage where people are trying to get into these ecosystems, and the UX, to be honest, being a lending or using a game on a Web3 stack, is quite inaccessible for the average Joe to use this. So even though this might look a bit inflated when it comes to values currently, this is just a transition phase into something where we all as an ecosystem, I think, need to push this further to make it more efficient, reduce costs to use these products, and make it more accessible. So that you don't need a computer science background to be able to play a game or to borrow some or lend some money. And I think we're on a great way there. So I think really exciting to see where the space is pushing.
Yeah, I happen to absolutely agree with you. I think right now the user experience is so difficult. Even DeFi aside, even something as simple as just like buying cryptocurrency, I still think is quite difficult for the average person. So we're still early. Hopefully in time these things will be resolved, and maybe then we can take mass adoption to the next level. So Paul, I want to thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show today.
Layah, thanks so much. This was really fun. Talk soon. Bye.
Thanks for watching, guys, and for more information on DIA, you can visit their website, diadata.org, or you can just follow them on Twitter.